Nud.
Nud.
Blue Nud.
You should see a doctor about your blue nud.
Nah, it's fine. That's the way it's supposed to be. Hi, Niall.
Hi, Michael. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Just looking through the Clan of the Goat and thinking about my blue nud. I think
It happens.
Yeah. I think I choose boar. No, I choose raven. Or boar? In Northgard.
Michael, what is Northgard?
It's this video game. Before we begin, truly, can you give me your best Norse accent?
Sure. Do you want me to speak a little Norwegian for you?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. This is the one thing I can say in Norwegian. So jeg forstår litt norsk. So there you go.
What does that mean?
I understand a little Norwegian.
Great, because we'll need it for Northgard. Jesus Christ. Northgard is it's a real-time strategy game, but it kind of combines bits and pieces from other games. I'm sure there's a game that is very similar to this. This reminds me most of Anno, the Anno series.
Right. I'm getting a very Settlers vibe from it.
Yeah.
Right away. So
yeah. So you are a some sort of Norse or Viking person, and the story. There's a story to this. This is just a sort of single player, whatever. And the story is that a very bad dude breaks in while your father, the king, and all his jarls are meeting, and he kills everyone, and you fake your death, and you take over after he leaves, and he has stolen the map to Northgard, which is this fictional land with riches and resources, and you have to chase back after him. And so that's kind of the crux of it, is you're settling this new area that is both dangerous but full of bounty and treasure. And yeah, you start with a handful of civilians, or just no-named workers who, if they don't have any tasks, will just gather food. And you can build buildings based on resources like wood or money or occasionally stone. And then you can assign workers by selecting one and right-clicking on it. See here, I'm building a farm. It's select a villager. So they'll go build that farm, and then after they're done building it, I can assign them to be a farmer. And each building will have a certain number of slots. So the farm will only have 2 workers can work at it. And that's kind of it. Is you're both managing your workers to manage your resources, so you can build and hopefully win.
Okay, so it's a pretty standard RTS.
Kind of. There's a lot of little stuff. If you look at the top, there's this expansion stuff. With the particular boar clan I chose can expand using both food, which is normal, or money. So this clan might be focused around money a little bit. So each clan has its own benefits. And then there's things like happiness. You'll gain workers not by building them. You just gain them naturally as long as you have room. In the top right, you see 7 out of 11. I can grow up to 11 workers. And if I don't have room, I need to build more houses. If each little plot you see here, I've been expanding these little plots.
Sure.
Those have a limited number of buildings that can be built on them. So I can't just build a bunch of houses and never have to think about it again.
Right.
Same with farms. Farms can't be built everywhere. The hunting shack I'm building right here can only be built with deer around. Otherwise, it won't let you because there's no reason to build it.
Okay, so you kind of have to be aware of your environment, I guess, as far as what you're building.
Yeah, that's a big emphasis, is in the environment that's near you.
So are you competing but is there other settlements that you're I guess, going to war with, or are you just simply trying to expand as much as you can?
So at the top left, if you see like it says 3 unknowns, those are all different settlements. This like thing is just like a I forget what you call it. It's not single player, but you're just
campaign.
It's not the campaign. You're just fighting its AI.
Okay.
Skirmish. I don't know.
Skirmish, sure.
Yeah. And there's different ways to win, and the campaign kind of takes you through that of like, here's how you set up your basic food. Here's how you set up wood. Here's how you fight. And then the last campaign one I did, it was like, here's how you get a trade victory. So like in the top right, you'll see a little weird symbol. It says 44 out of 80. That's lore.
Okay.
You'll see when that tips over, like what that unlocks. It just gives you like buffs to the, I don't know what you can call it, village. That's one way to win. In the top left, you'll see it says like chieftain. If you gain a bunch of fame, which usually means like expanding really big, it's another way to win. You could just kill everyone. That's another way to win. So it's kind of like Civ.
Sure.
Culture
or yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
A religious victory or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it's like it's readily like apparent that this is pulling from just about every.
Yeah. Here's the lore stuff.
Okay. Also, it's like a tech tree, basically.
Yeah, but most of them just give you benefits, buffs of like, okay, you now do 10% more wood. And then you also see like the wolves and stuff. Those are just, I can't expand in those territories until I've taken out those wolves. So I have to kill those wolves. So yeah, it's a neat balance between the environment that's around you, the resource management, people management, like everyone has to be happy so you can grow, so you can have more people, so you can have more people who can farm. Like it's this constant balance, and it's not difficult, but it's not easy, and I kind of like where it's at.
Right, it's not throwing too much at you, you don't feel like.
Yeah, I never feel like I'm spiraling out of control. There have definitely been times where it's like, oh, everyone's starving, and I have no money. I also like the noise that warriors make. You just go, oi. And I also like that that it's like it's like worker balance, it's resource balance, it's kind of a lot of little concepts that are very major in other games that they just kind of throw at you, but none of them are too intensive.
Would you say it's sort of... I don't know if this is just the art style or what that's giving me this impression, but it certainly seems like it's maybe aimed towards a more like casual player. That sort of seems to be the impression I'm getting. Like it's a little bit of everything, but it doesn't seem like it's going super hard on anything either. Like it seems pretty accessible.
It can be difficult, and you'll see what gets real difficult about it here in a second. Okay. I would say it's rather simple. Like this early stuff is pretty simple. But the more complex stuff of like every plot you see can be upgraded for 100 coins, and that'll let you have a new like building be placed there. Every building can be upgraded, and those all cost resources. And like upgraded buildings, like you see the town hall, it says upgrade underneath it. So can the house, and so like if I upgraded a house, more people can move in there, and people are happier. It's kind of, I'm about to build the wrong building here. I need money because I'm losing 1 per turn. I built a marketplace, which lets me buy stuff from other people, but I want the trading place.
Oh, okay.
Which lets me trade stuff, but that also earns money by itself. The trading market or whatever. There's a lot of routes, like a lot of options to do stuff. And it's starting to snow.
Well, it is, Norsk. Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, like...
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like the difference between a trading post and a marketplace seems kind of like a weird thing.
Yeah.
Like, that seems like it could be streamlined a bit better, I guess.
I've made that mistake several times. So here's winter, and winter is the hard part of the game, because it's not affecting me greatly here because I have a lot of woodworking at the top. I'm getting plus 13, but I have negative 3 food. Wood and food go up greatly during winter. So if you are not prepared for winter, or you accidentally build the wrong building, things can go bad during winter. I've had settlements starving and get sick, but I've yet to like lose. Here's something you can capture and win. I'm not sure. I've never done it. So winter is like the hard part of the game. It can get real difficult during winter. Because like you see how that guy's like bringing apples back. Your idle villagers just collect food. So if you just have idle villagers, that can be a really good thing. Like I have scraped by winters by having 4 villagers just collecting food extra. And if they're off building something, they're not collecting food. And it can be a weird, like, oh shit, I told this guy to go build the marketplace, and now I'm not getting any food.
Okay, and now that you have the trading post or whatever built, like, you suddenly jumped up in, like, everything as far as production goes, so...
Well, I also feasted, which...
Okay.
That costs a ton of food, but everything's value like temporarily goes up.
Oh, okay. I thought that was just like the trading post.
God, I wish. The trading post does increase like how much money I'm getting per turn. So I was at negative 1, and now I'm attacking these wolves. You also get a penalty for it being winter and being warriors, but I completely forgot. You can also build healers so that they can heal sick or like injured people, because those wolves or any like these enemies at any moment could attack, and my civilians will fight them off. And for like a wolf, that's no big deal. But if anyone's injured, their workload, like I think they lose like 20% or something. It'll tell you. Like the little blood thing on the right tells you like, oh, this worker is not as effective. They usually stay. They're pretty good. Yeah, now we're fine. Yeah. Still a negative 1 wood or negative 1 food, which is why I'm building this fishing thingy. So now I'm at plus 2.
Does it feel like there's 4 distinct seasons, or does it really just feel like there's winter and not winter?
It's just winter and not winter.
Okay.
The left there, it says we should prepare for winter. We just left winter. It's just like, yo, get ready. There'll also be
March.
Yeah, it's March. Yo, winter's coming. Like it's no. There are also events like there are earthquakes. Didn't know Norway was known for its earthquakes, but there are earthquakes.
Apparently.
There'll be what else? There'll be rat infestations. So you have to build food silos, which also...
Oh, nice.
Food silos are good because they just increase your capacity for food. But also just the idea of yo, rats be coming.
Build a silo.
Yeah, quick. There's also... there are wolves, but there are also draugrs.
Draugr, I think.
Yeah. And, see, I'm gonna track. Fucking wolf. The good thing is, if your warriors are in a section, they will automatically go fight something. So you don't have to, go click on the wolf that is attacking them. They will just go fight it.
Right.
Same with like if I had a civilian in a section and started building a building, it would just go build it for me. I wouldn't have to assign it to build it. But yeah, there's another event where the Draugrs have like portals that open. And
Oh, nice.
you just have to wait by these portals until these Draugrs come, and then they all show up like, "Hey, what's up?" And they just attack you.
So, what what is it specifically that hurries up your lore build? Because I see you have like +7 on that at the moment. Like, is that just like what are you doing to get that level up stuff faster or whatever? Like, what governs that? Do you know?
You have like a base level for it, so you're always gaining it, even if you ignore it completely. If you build a harbor, you can send your ship out to raid. They'll either go get fame or lore, and that's another way to do it. And we build a silo. There's also, like, next to that pond, there's a little rock. I can assign one person to go hover his hands around the rock, and he's gaining 1 lore. And there are bigger pieces of lore that'll give you you can assign 2 or 3 people. You can also build buildings that'll do like little. You can build those rocks if you so choose. You can also so each clan that you choose from has both different like benefits. This one's all about lore, and this one's all about fame. This one's all about money. They'll also have their own buildings. So some have buildings that are unique to sheep. Like this guy, the one I'm playing, does not have it. So these sheep I have on the map are only good for slaughtering. But if I play that as that other clan, there's an earthquake coming.
Uh-oh.
If I play as the other clan, I can build a building where I can put the sheep, and they will constantly give me food rather than slaughtering them once and just taking the food once.
Okay.
So like there may be a clan that's just better at getting lore and stuff. I am just constantly losing food. There we go.
I want to be the guy whose job is just to stand by the rocks and like wave his hands around them for months on end.
Just come back and be like, yeah, I learned some more lore today. It was really good. One weird thing.
You get a lot of time to make up the lore, I guess.
Yeah, like
that's your job.
Today I learned the rock is angry at us because I don't eat enough. One weird thing is when you're picking lore, I pause the game to like figure out where I'm going with it. You have to unpause it to select it. You can't select it when paused.
That's weird.
That is a little strange.
That's.
But I think the big change because this was in early access for a long time, and the big change I think is the campaign, and that's pretty good. Like that has some animated intros or some really good art as the intros. It's voice-overed. That's the technical term. Voice-overed.
Yeah, the industry term.
And the people doing the voiceover have like a good like accent to it, so they don't go jarl, they go jarl. It's very like they pronounce things a very like Scandinavian way, Norwegian way, and I actually really appreciate that.
Was this game made in Scandinavia? Are they actual Scandinavians? Do you know that?
If I say yes and I'm completely wrong, then I will feel bad. So I'm gonna say yes, totally, sure.
Great.
It kind of feels like it a little, like some of the designs and some of the names, like Nud, or knowing to call things jarls, sound like feels Scandinavian. I don't know. As an American, I'm gonna say yeah, totally.
Sure.
This is 100% authentic. All this stuff is real.
How often do they yell like Skol or whatever?
It's usually a lot of oys and ahoys and like a lot of that. Kind of nothing to actually be a real word. Just a lot of noises. There's no works done. real shame. So yeah, I'm trying to heal up this scout because if he's injured, he just goes slower.
Right.
Scouts are weird.
So are these like this green and this red border? Are those the other clans? Or?
Yes. So I cannot scout where they are at until I upgrade my scout thing, which there's no reason to.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it doesn't make sense. I'm actually switching my healer off of healing and back to being a villager, so that as winter comes, I can get more food ready. Because there's no reason to have a healer just sitting around not healing anyone.
Sure.
So it's like resource management and worker management, but it's never too difficult. It's kind of nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems kind of leisurely paced compared to a lot of similar games, honestly.
Yeah, I don't even
which
think
I kind
you can,
of appreciate.
I don't think you can even speed it up. Pretty sure you can't. These wolves.
Oh, that one guy's getting fucked up. They just didn't follow you.
Yeah, they won't leave, which is very nice because you can just kind of constantly poke at them. There are the Draugrs, and I think there's another stronger mythical creature, and they will follow you. They won't follow you, but they'll fuck you up real quick. Like you need to have like upgrades that allow you to attack them. Because otherwise you'll just like I was playing on a different playthrough and I had like four in my war clan, and like as soon as I walked in, one of them was dead, just melted. And I was like, all right, well, I can't go there.
Your clan is unhappy, Michael.
Yeah, they don't know what they want.
They want some medicine. That's what they want.
So even that tech tree is different depending on the clan, because I've definitely gone to one since in. So that one said that healers will collect food when they're at healing, and there's another one that I think would like let all production where healers would increase. So they're very different. So like you'd have to employ a different strategy of, okay, where am I going to put where my healing is versus, oh, it doesn't matter where my healing is, I just want to have food collection. So that'll change your strategy a bit. I really like this game because of how kind of both leisurely you can take it, but also how difficult it can get of constantly having to remember how things are balanced. It's nice.
It seems like I knew pretty much nothing about this game going into this video, but like you're kind of selling me a little bit on this. I don't play many RTS games, but I've kind of been looking to get into one on and off the past couple months, so maybe I'll pick this up.
It's a good one. Like here, I don't have any villagers to repair anything, and everything's on fire because of the earthquake. So
it happens.
Yeah. Like the hunter's like, what do we do? How do we put out fires? I only know how to use a bow and arrow, not a hammer.
Shoot more arrows into it.
Quick. But yeah, I even as I've played probably about 6 hours of this, I'm still kind of figuring out little nuances like you can build defensive towers, but they don't take up building slots. So you can just build defensive towers wherever. I didn't know that, so I've been very vulnerable a lot of the times.
That seems kind of like an oversight on the dev's part, honestly.
It says it, like if you hover over it, it'll say.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Yeah, I'm just an idiot. Like it's not. That's them, or that's on me.
Yeah, you haven't built any defense towers.
Yeah, I needed all those building slots.
You just have your one guy with his axe.
You know, she's doing all right. They're also a good like line of defense because again, like anything with if a wolf comes in and attacks, they will respond within that little piece of territory. And then I'm scared because things might attack me, so I'm putting it there. Yeah, there's the Draugrs.
Right.
And so some of those, like with this one, some of those I have to kill. No matter what, I would have to kill everything in there. But some of those, like you look at the map in the bottom left, have like skulls in them, and that means I have to kill like multiple, like more than one or two. I have to kill like 3 or 4 or something. Here's the brewery. It makes happiness.
Just like real life.
No downside, all happiness.
Never known anyone to be unhappy with a brewery.
No, everyone leaves and they're all like, oh yeah, see her? She's ready to go. I think the only way to get happiness is either by expanding or by building buildings like that. Hey, I figured out the defensive tower thing. Yeah, that's basically Northgard. There's there's nuances to it, like, here's a trade route, but I haven't met anybody, so I can't trade with anybody. There's like harbors you can build, and that lets you have like a trade victory. But you don't really do much. You just select something. You don't have to like steer your ships or anything. You just go, hey, go do this, and your ship disappears and then comes back. And it's just, it's resource management and managing your workers to manage those resources to hopefully win.
It looks good. Like, it legitimately looks really good.
Yeah, it's I'm sure there's some people who look at it and go, like, this is no Crusader Kings 2, and I don't think it's...
Thank God for that, honestly.
So just played like 40 hours of Crusader Kings 2. I can't say anything about that. But this is a good alternative, I think, to that kind of hardcore. Because I feel like these kinds of games have been coming back in a way, and I'm glad that one of them isn't just trying to be. I got a new title.
Oh, you're Thane.
Yeah, call me Thane from now on.
Thane is my favorite Mass Effect character.
Did you have sex with Thane?
No, I don't think. No, I didn't. No.
I thought he was your favorite.
Yeah, well, it just didn't happen that way, I guess.
Maybe next time. I believe you.
Yeah, because I'm gonna play Mass Effect again.
Why not? Just play 1 and 2. You're good. Or just play 2.
Just play 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Mass Effect 1. I might even like it better than 2 because I like the Bioware KOTOR way of doing things. Just play 2. Anyways, that's Northgard. Thanks, Niall, for joining me.
Thank you, Michael.
And say goodbye to everybody in Norwegian.
Goodbye.
Wow.
Sure, it's pretty similar to English, I think.
Wow, it's like I'm in another world. It's, man, exotic places you can go. Thanks, Niall.
Thanks, Michael.